Alright, hello people again. It is me, Mike. Back with the WCO Babablu versus Tiger fights. I'll be doing this and UFC 80 today, and that with the last you see these lovely surroundings for a bit anyways. Maybe the UFC post fight if I'm around here when I watch it. But that's beside the point. Moving on, I actually made some notes for this one, so hopefully this will flow a little better. First up, we have a heavyweight match between Cain Velasquez of the American Kickboxing Academy versus Tony Sylvester. Velasquez 2-0, Sylvester 9-1. Cain has a great future in the sport if he would fight more regularly. He hasn't fought since, didn't fight all of 2007. I don't know what the story is there. Could be an injury, could be maybe even like a little semi-retirement. But basically what it works with, both these guys have a base in wrestling. I think Cain's the better striker. I think Tony Sylvester is a better submission guy, but I don't think he catches Cain Velasquez in a submission. At the same time, Tony is not really a big gasser, so I would have to go with Cain Velasquez winning by decision, unanimous. Next, we have Fabio Costa versus Carlos Fuentes. Okay, not a terribly experienced group here. Costa's 3-0. Fuentes 2-1. Both are ground specialists. Fuentes, though, is not a finisher, which is the one thing that kind of worries me here. And Fabio Costa is a really good BJJ guy. I mean, he's a beast on the ground. I see him probably taking this one, but Fuentes is very hard to finish. We're gonna have to go decision again, which is a bit of a weak start to the card, but hey, get what you get. Next, 9-7 Tiki Goshen versus 8-1 JJ Ambrose. Contrast in styles here. JJ very much a ground guy. Tiki very much a stand-up guy. In the past, we've seen this against guys like Chris Lytle, against guys like Blasavina, that Tiki Goshen, when he faces a guy with legitimate ground skills, he loses. So I'm going with JJ Ambrose with a first round submission. Next, we have David the Crow Loazo, 15-7 versus Leopoldo Serral, 11-6. Okay, the Crow has not been as good since he lost to Rich Franklin, of course, as he was before. But he appears to be getting back on the right track. He's training at Greg Jackson's camp, which is a very good camp. He's facing Serral, who's a bit inconsistent at best. He's a luta libre fighter. He's going to have a hard time, I think, with Crow. I mean, Crow is not a guy you're going to finish easily on the ground. So I'm taking Dave the Crow Loazo via TKO in the second round. Next, Wesley Cabbage Carrera versus Jimmy the Titan Arbriz, 18-13 versus 11-9-1. Two really big guys here. I mean, Arbriz is the bigger guy, likely will be the better wrestler, but just mainly because of his size. He should be able to dominate on the ground. At the same time, you don't finish Cabbage. I mean, Cabbage's spot for a guy who gets ragged on a lot. I mean, he has put up good fights against guys like Andrei Arlovsky, Tim Sylvia, and of course beating Tank Abbott, losing Tank Abbott. But still, I mean, Cabbage is a good purely brawler. I mean, he's nothing technical about him, but the man's got a rock for a head, and both of these guys will probably gas. So I'm taking Cabbage, probably with a knockout in the second round against Arbriz, because I think Arbriz gasses first, basically. Georgie, the insane one, Karahanian. I think I got that right. 4-0-1 from Millennium Jiu-Jitsu, which is a solid camp in California. Facing Armando Sanchez, 9-5-0. Notable opponents here, just basically the one. Cub Swanson beat Armando Sanchez. I don't know what that tells you, because I honestly didn't see the fight, but I'm going to go with Georgie here, because I mean, Georgie undefeated. Sanchez, I think, is being set up to lose this fight a little bit. The WCO has been pretty good about that. Not sure how it's going to go. I'm going to go with a first round submission for Georgie. Next, we have Mark the Titan Kerr, 14-6 versus the debuting Rick Rufus. I think it's the debuting Rick Rufus. He's not on Fight Finder. I can't ever recall him fighting MMA before. Simple answer, Rick Rufus, first round by brutalization. Just because, I mean, Mark Kerr is one of these legends who's gone well beyond his best before date. Along the lines of Ken Shamrock or Dan Severn. I think he just gets completely destroyed in this match. That's kind of all I see. Next, we have Gustavo Machado versus Joe Riggs. Gustavo Machado, excellent Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy. In MMA, he's actually got a winning record, which was a little surprising to me, 13-7-1, because I keep remembering losing, because he faced fighting competition. But when he steps up to guys with strength, I mean, Benji Raddick, Brad Matt Blackburn, Thales Latis, Mike Pyle, Damian Maya. He's lost. He does own wins over Marcelo Brito and Kiyoshi Tamura, which are good wins. But he's facing Joe Riggs. I mean, we know Joe Riggs. Victories over Jason Von Flue, victories over Ivan Salivary, victories over... No, he lost Ivan Salivary, beat Joe Dorkson. Lost to Mike Swick, lost to Matt Hughes. I mean, he basically beats who he's supposed to beat, and he loses to who he's supposed to lose to. And I mean, I think he basically pounds up Machado. Machado's a tough guy, so he may be going to decision before he loses it. Next, Rico Rodriguez, 27-7 versus Mike Matt Kyle, 9-5-1. This is Kyle's first fight since brutally beating Brian Olsen and getting himself disqualified. He's also famous for, of course, kicking Justin Eilers in the crotch and biting Wes Sims. He's America's version of Gilbert Ivel, basically. I'm still stunned this fight's happening just because I never thought I'd see Mike Kyle in the ring again. Hopefully Rico beats him. This is a hopeful thing. I'm going to take Rico via first round submission, but Mike Kyle does have solid skills. I mean, we can't deny this. I mean, he's a good fighter. It's just he's a dirty as hell fighter, and that's kind of really all I have to say on that matter. Next, we have the main event finally: Vernon Tiger White versus Renato Babablu Sobral. Vernon Tiger White 25-32-2, very misleading record. Babablu 29-7. Babablu, of course, Chuck Liddell twice, lost to him both times. Lost to Kevin Randleman, beat Elvis Sinisek, beat Travis View, beat Chael Sonnen, beat Trevor Prangley, Mauricio Shogun-Hua, and Jeremy Horn all on the same night. Beat... Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. I mean, beat David Heath as well. But I think... beat Mike Van Arsdale, but I think I got my point across. I mean, Babablu, very legitimate fighter, was top 10 for a very long time, and people shit on him a lot after he lost to Chuck Liddell the second time. Like, there's this guy that I know that keeps talking to MSN about Chuck having fought no one legitimate. I'm like, dude, Babablu, very legitimate. Randy Couture, very legitimate. Jeremy Horn, not so much, but, I mean, at least in the background. I mean, the issue was they were just stylistically bad matchups for Chuck. Well, good matchups for Chuck, bad matchups for themselves. What do I say this fight going? This is a bit of a no-brainer. I see Babablu, second round tap out of Vernon Tiger White. Vernon, he's a good striker. He's got decently well-rounded skills. He trains out of the Lions Den with Ken Shamrock, but there's a reason he has 32 losses. I mean, it's a very misleading record. He's much better than a losing fighter, but still, Babablu, much too much for him in this matchup. I wish I could see Babablu fighting some more legitimate competition, but such is life. I'll be back with my UFC picks either today or tomorrow. Have a good day.